Iquitos is a town that lies on the great Amazon River. With a population of 400,000, it is the largest town in the world to be inaccessible by road. Surrounded by huge areas of Amazon rainforest and wide rivers, the only means of access is by water and more recently by air. Iquitos is situated 2,000 miles up the Amazon, not in Brazil, but in Peru. The town of Iquitos began as a Jesuit mission station in 1750. Its population boomed in the late 19th century through the development of rubber. Nowadays, Iquitos survives on oil, forestry, and tourism. The surrounding jungle and rivers have a wonderful variety of animal, vegetable, and insect life. Here are some examples. Since Iquitos is in Peru, the normal way of getting there is to fly from Lima, the capital. This involves flying over the Andes. Although near the equator, these mountains are so high they are almost always snow-capped. Once past the Andes, our flight was over the jungle, where the Amazon itself and its tributaries begin. The evening we arrived, we had time to go downtown in a pedicab and see the sights, including some snake charming. I wouldn't like to put a snake's head in my mouth. Then we enjoyed a meal where a Peruvian skiffle group came to sing to us. Next morning, the view from my room showed it was raining. Not surprising, since it was Peru's rainy season. Our group was visiting Iquitos to see the work done by a Christian organization, the Scripture Union, among 3 distinct groups of needy people, all in or near Iquitos. The first group was simply the poor, many of whom live in floating houses along the banks of the rivers. During the rainy season, the only way of getting around that area is by canoe. We were due to visit a clinic cum community centre built and run for these people. We too had to get there by canoe in the pouring rain. In the dry season, this open space is a football pitch. These houses don't flood because they float. There's the clinic now, straight ahead. The day we were there, the clinic was not open, though we were told about its activities. But we could see the children enjoying their other activities. Who would want to live in conditions like these? But these people have no choice. Through the medical work and other activities, Scripture Union is giving a helping hand, bringing fun and interest to these people's lives. The second activity we wanted to see was that done for abandoned boys of whom there are tens of thousands in Peru, turned out of their homes and left to fend for themselves on the streets. Many die from hunger or illness. This is a drop-in centre run for them by Scripture Union. After playing football, the boys put on a demonstration of the treatment most of them have suffered. Here the boy is being kicked out of the home.
That's the father.
He is then hungry, so he tries to get food from a cafe, but is driven away by a security guard. He lies down to sleep in the street, using any cover he can pick up. A Scripture Union worker passes him lying there, wonders what the bundle is. Finds it's a boy. Talks to him, encouraging him to come to the center. The boy is afraid and refuses. But eventually agrees and goes. Only a few are willing to do this. In the afternoon, the rain had cleared away and our group boarded a river craft to take us an hour's journey upstream to where Scripture Union had a home for abandoned boys. A home being a place where boys can stay long-term, in contrast to the downtown centres where boys tend to come for the day or for short periods. Puerto Alegria, the Port of Happiness, is the name of this home. The facilities here are being upgraded, often helped by work parties from Scotland.
My name's Duncan McPherson and I was the leader of a work party from Inverness which came out here in 2005, and we were involved in the construction of the walkway that you can see there in front of you. We had 33 people on the team and we worked really hard for 5 days and were able to leave with the job more or less done. The covering on it wasn't done, but the walkway itself was fully constructed.
That's the pillars and the wood you did?
Yeah.
Great.
So it was a very real sense of achievement, as well as having such a great experience with the boys who were here. So couldn't but recommend it to anybody who wanted to come for a trip. Marvellous experience.
Apparently there are usually 30 boys living here, though the day we visited there were fewer. In addition to their lessons, the boys have time for play. It is just as well there are no crocodiles, piranhas or electric eels in these waters. Now it's time for us to leave the boys at Puerto Alegria and head back to Iquitos. Making homes like this for boys abandoned by their parents is Scripture Union's way of lending a helping hand. The third group of needy people we had come to see were tribal people who live along the banks of the Amazon and its tributaries. Their special need is medical. There are some government-provided clinics in the area, but they are few and far between. Amazon Hope 1 and Amazon Hope 2 are the names of two small ships provided by the Vine Trust in Scotland. These ships travel from village to village, giving free medical and dental care to the tribal folk. These ships are often manned by teams of qualified medics from Scotland and the US, who take 2 weeks off their busy working lives to treat these tribal people. For our visiting party to get there from Iquitos was a 100-mile trip along the Amazon in a fast motorboat, taking 4 hours. There is the ship Amazon Hope No. 2. When we arrived, a clinic was taking place on board. The patients are registered as they arrive. All the patients, whatever their other needs, are given pills to treat stomach worms.
Hi, I'm Philip Kiln. I'm a GP based in Inverness in Scotland. I'm not in Inverness at the moment though, I'm in Peru working on the Amazon Hope. We have 2 dentists, 3 doctors, 2 nurses and a pharmacist from the UK, and we're assisted very ably by many good professionals from Peru. We're here for about 10 days. We've been here 5 days so far. Had an amazing experience. The Amazon is a beautiful place, but the people here live in great poverty, particularly on the river. This is, funnily enough, one of the richest villages we've seen, one of the most prosperous. It has a clean water from a well, but most people are drawing their water from the river, the same river that they wash in, that they brush their teeth in, that their children go to the toilet in, and consequently we see much diarrhea. But also we're seeing all the diseases we see in the UK and a lot of skin diseases. People don't have the ability to wash well, and that's causing them big problems.
And how many patients do you see a day, Philip, roughly?
We're, between us, I think we're probably seeing 100, but myself I see about 20 a day, maybe 30 a day, I don't know.
And if this ship wasn't here, would they get any medical help?
They would get some. There are local health centres staffed by nurses. So they get some help, but I'm sure it's a great help to them with the Amazon Hope being here.
Thank you very much.
Okay, my name's Sheila Mayer. I'm a nurse, originally from Edinburgh, but now working and living in Ayrshire. And I came across Fine Trust via the internet, actually, when I was looking to do some voluntary work. And one of the great things about this work is I'm able to do it in my own annual leave time. And I have to say it's been an absolute privilege to work with the members of the Vine Trust here in Peru. And the organisation has been absolutely tremendous to get this work done. It's hot work, it's somewhat repetitive, but I have to say it's very rewarding. The children in particular are adorable, despite having their teeth pulled. And I can't say that they enjoy it, but they are absolutely brilliant. They lie there, they accept it, and they sometimes even say thank you at the end of it. So it's just been a wonderful, wonderful experience. Plus I've been able to see some of the countryside and some of the villages and how these people work and what a good, what a wonderful influence the Vine Trust is having in this part of the world. It's pretty basic dental care. It's extractions and fillings. There's no fancy work done at all. But if it relieves pain, obviously that makes a big difference.
During the midday break, the villagers put on a display of tribal dancing for us. Members of the ship's crew and visiting party were invited to join in. After the dancing, visitors were invited to buy the tribal art on offer. It is time for the afternoon clinic, and patients are making their way to the ship. I wonder what the Scottish Health and Safety Department would say about an entrance like this to one of Scotland's clinics.
Okay, in this room there's a table where dental extractions are carried out by one of the 2 dentists on board, assisted by Sheila, a nurse. The patients are numbed up and then wait a few minutes before the extraction's carried out. This corner is the pharmacy, where there's quite a range of medication, but obviously only a limited amount, so depending on what is required, 1 or 2 things run out ahead of time. But for most prescriptions that we receive from the doctors or the dentists, we're able to supply.
So we can see there's the 2 men who are in charge of the exams for malaria test, and there's John, who's the man in charge of the lab.
It's time for us now to leave Amazon Hope. These tribal people, together with the abandoned boys and the poor people of Iquitos in their floating houses, are all very needy. Scripture Union, supported by the Vine Trust, are doing a wonderful work for them. Our boat heads back to Iquitos, 4 hours away along the Amazon. The sunsets here are known to be spectacular. A happy end to this visit, seeing a helping hand, many helping hands, given to needy people in and around Iquitos.